This is good, man. I feel really lucky and blessed to be here to talk to one of my dear friends, who, obviously is new on the scene, so it's kind of a new friend for me, but I think somebody that really is special, that resonates with so many of you. This was not my experience when I had a lecture. Every seat was filled. Maybe there was one row, but we have like 10 rows back here. So this is incredible to see everybody come out and support her. And I talk about certainly the incredible SZA, which we all know very well. I apologize if my moderation is a little unorthodox. I have like little scribble, old school action happening over here, but I'm gonna try and dive into not statistics, you know what I mean? I think that it's important to get a feeling from her, you know what I mean? What motivates her, what moves her, like why is she inspired and why is she inspiring each and every one of you, So we know where she was born. We know she's from Jersey. We know these things. Like, Jersey, stand up. We got anybody from Jersey in here? Y'all made the trek. I'll see you in the front row, Dad. So, man, this is a super exciting time. I don't know if she's ready. She needs a couple more minutes. We're good to go. This is exciting. We have a limited time, so I'm going to try and run through as much juicy material as I possibly can. And then I'm going to open it up to the floor. And then there's going to be a special surprise and a treat for you guys. So, without further ado, let's bring out the incredible Solana. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yup, whoop, whoop. Hell yeah.
Hi, you guys.
That's all you got for her? That's it?
This is
that's what I'm
beautiful.
talking about. I think this side is hyper on this side right here. You see this side? Sorry. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to do that. I never got to do that.
So you're at the Apollo, essentially?
Yo, man,
I think this side is...
Hold on, let me touch this leg.
This is crazy.
Over here, pause.
Super... I don't know what to say. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay,
She's here, everybody, and she will be here for the next hour. So
I'm ready.
Let's keep it calm. Let's dive right in. I know we're here to all get as much juicy information out of Solana as possible. Don't worry. This is a really safe environment up here. This is like really genuinely my friend, and I'm honored to
We are.
call
We're
her
absolutely
that.
friends. This is awesome.
Because
don't fuck around.
I wouldn't have been picked for my
okay, go ahead.
unorthodox question asking. So anyway. Again, I was saying that we're not going to talk about a lot of statistics. People know a lot of things about you. There's marine biology.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to touch on things really quick. I think my opening statement is, I know that you play soccer. I know today is the opening of the World Cup. I know Brazil took it 3-1. Who's your team?
I don't watch soccer.
Oh,
I just
man.
played in my backyard.
She just plays soccer. That's how dope she is.
I just played in my backyard.
Whatever. I'm too busy being famous. This is awesome.
No. I guess to cover the basics, I'm black and I live between here and Los Angeles sometimes. I sing a little bit.
A little bit. A lot of bit.
Yeah, I have a dog who plays with your dog all the time. Yeah.
Follow him on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does Piglet have a...
Not yet and never.
Okay, you need to get one. We're going to work that out for you.
But,
my dog is more famous than yours.
He is crazy, like just alien, like French bulldogs. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. We can get into anything personal. Like,
cool.
just I want people to get to know. This is a family environment. Like, I don't want people to feel like this isn't a situation where you're coming to see somebody that you don't know. Like, you all know me. If you listen to my music, you know me. So you can feel comfortable and feel whatever you want to feel, and like I'm here. We're all here. We're together. So be comfy. Talk to each other. Not over me, but talk to each other.
Exactly.
And be comfy. But anyway, go ahead.
You touched so many people's souls, so I'm gonna dive right in. When was the moment that you realized that you had it? Whatever that it is, right? I know people know when you started and you jumped on it and did a hook. And when did you know that you had it? Like, wow, I'm actually kind of dope. And that's hard for an artist to say. I know that. We tend to be very humble in these kind of moments, yet we know that we're badass, like when it really breaks down. When did you know that you had it?
I don't think I've ever known that I had it. I still don't. I think I'm just trying to figure it out. I think all this is a process of growing. Like, this isn't about like being like the #1 artist in the world. Like, I just want to grow. Like I want to evolve into something greater, something bigger than myself, where I'm at right now, and hopefully touch people along the way in the best way that I can, but not be like, I don't have time to like, I don't know, to get caught in the fog of anything or like have it. I just want to grow.
Sure.
And so everyone can have it. That's what it's about.
Yeah, well, thank you for giving it to us all. There are, I sort of fell in love with your music and really discovered it, and I find it like there's a haunting kind of quality to your voice, not in an eerie sort of weird evil way, but like there's this rasp and there's a calm to it. It's very difficult for artists to put themselves out there and be vulnerable. Yeah. Speak to me about being vulnerable, being out on stage. Early on, I know there was a little bit of uncomfortable sort of situations, like I'm on stage and I'm here and I'm dope and I'm gonna give you my music, but I don't know if I really wanna be here. Talk to me about being vulnerable.
I think I've always been just like hypersensitive. Like I was just raised that way. And I think I've always just been, even just like more so, like cry at the drop of a hat, but then it kind of like turned into rage and like took a weird turn.
You're an artist.
Right.
Yeah, I know what that feels like.
But now I think, I don't know, I think being vulnerable is the only way. If you're not vulnerable, you run the risk of like losing people.
And not getting the message clear.
Exactly, and I think there's something to be said about talking about your darkness or your shadows or where you hide at, because most people are hiding in the same place you're hiding. So it's not even just you. And not to like normalize other people's pain, but I think there's comfort in numbers and there's just comfort in general. And I think
so true.
I think there needs to be just more of that. And I think in me being vulnerable, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not always hyped to be vulnerable. I'm not always excited to tell people about myself, because people take that opportunity to shit on you if they feel like, oh, like I know this or whatever the case may be. But I think it's worth it. Like that risk is worth it, because for every one, there's like 100 other people that are like in a positive way growing and with me, and I think that's worth it. The vulnerability is worth it.
Yeah,
sure.
You're in a beautiful place. I know the onset of a career there's always this sweet spot. It's almost like your first kiss, It's like, I can remember my
first kiss of my entire life.
Really? Tell me about that. Like, we gotta touch on it since we're here.
I hate kissing because of that. This dude like ate my face. Like it was crazy.
Bath salts. We call them bath salts now.
So crazy. It was awful. And like because of that, I'm like terrified of kissing. I don't do it. It's weird. I don't know. It's so weird. Like it was a bad day. Like it was a really bad day. I can't explain.
I'm not gonna ask his name. We're not gonna put him out there like that. But get it together, okay? You know who you are, all right? Somebody. Maybe you're here. Hopefully not.
People grow. People grow.
I have a couple favorite songs from the first album: Castles, Aftermath, Ice Moon, and Wings. Y'all are very familiar with this album.
Thank you.
Right?
Those are probably one of my favorites too.
Yeah, they're special.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. And there's a new, here, I'm really excited. It's sort of weird. I talk about the show Breaking Bad, right? I was so upset that I got all the way through it and really loved it, and then there was no more to get. I'm actually only recently dove in and really, really spent time with the new album Z. And I have Hijack is my joint, Green Mile, Babylon. These are my joints. Talk to me about how different making this album is from the first one. Like, what are the differences in making the two albums? And then we'll touch on some more stuff.
In Z, in S, I was in a different place. Just like literally my life was in a different place. Like I was barely eating like all day. Like I didn't have any money to eat. I quit my job and everyone was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that? And so I was kind of just in a weird, it wasn't even faith. I was just like, I hate this place. I have to get out of here. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I gotta get out of here. But I think I was just kind of winging it, like super winging it. Like I did 3/4. I recorded Castles, Wings, Terradome, and an interlude the night before I dropped S. Like literally the night before. Like I went home from the studio at like 4 a.m. And then like me and Jolie like sat down and went through like, what are we gonna call this? So on their iTunes, what's it gonna show? I was so sleepy, and that's how Glitter Trap came about, because I was like dumb like crazy tired. And she was like, I was just drifting off, and she was like, wait, there's one more step. We have to like name it for what they're gonna see. I'm like, what? I was just all annoyed. I'm like, I don't know. What does it sound like to you? And she was like, well, it feels like trap. I'm like, but I love trap, but I don't want people to feel like I'm just trap. And it was just weird. Like, and then I started thinking like the wind chimes from Felix that he always uses, like an Ice Moon. Felix Snow produced Ice Moon, Castles, Prey, almost all of S. So I was like, it always sounds like glitter. Like his wind chimes, whenever I want him to put wind chimes in something, I say, can you add some glitter? And he just knows what I'm talking about. So then it just came like that. We were like, I don't know, glitter trap, fuck it, good night. And then I don't know, like I fell asleep, and then the next day, and I was just like, glitter trap, that's how she gets down. And I'm just like, y'all niggas really ran with that, okay. Sure. Fine.
It's like, it's so amazing to hear like the stories behind it. You know, like I know people constantly ask me about like my photo shoots, like what was Jay-Z like, what was ODB like, what was Aaliyah like, you know what I mean? Like this inside insight I think is important. I'm sad that I only have 20 minutes with you. But we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep pressing, right? Okay. What drives you and what motivates you to continue to put yourself out there to make music for people to enjoy?
I don't have any other options. Like, I don't have any other choices. And I think, like, before this...
You have so many skills, though.
But I don't have any desire for them. Gotcha. Like... Before music, I was just bartending because my only other motivator was feeding myself. So it was like, okay.
Important.
Right. Like if
Feed
either
yourself.
I'm gonna eat but I didn't have anything that I felt passionate about. Yeah. And I think something about music and being able to express myself in a way that didn't involve anybody else, I'm chasing freedom forever. Like that's what I do it for. I'm chasing to be free from everything. But the only way to do that is to like, I don't know, you kind of got to like shed your weight and like just keep evolving until you get to that space. So I think that's why I'm doing it. I'm trying to figure out maybe this is just who I'm supposed to evolve into. Like maybe after this I'll get into visual art or film but right now this is where I am. Like this is where I need to be in terms of like growing. So the fact that everyone gets to watch me grow is like fucking awesome, but it wasn't even intended to be that way. Like it was just kind of like, I need to try this because I don't have discipline to go to work and get there on time, and I get fired from everywhere. It's working out okay for you, though. Yeah, like I got fired from every job, and then except I quit Sephora. That was like the one job I ever quit, and I was like disappointed in myself. I was like, damn, you didn't even get fired this time, and you still quit. But I don't know.
It's the story of a lot of artists, though. I think you know what I mean. It's like. You know, I speak about different times. You know, I came up in a different time. I came up in the Big Daddy Kane era. I saw Biggie on stage live.
Like these are legend. It's
incredible things. No, man, hardly. I have a good job and I'm good at it. You know what I mean? Like that's cool.
You're
that's
great,
good
man.
enough for me. Thank you. Too much. You know, but I speak about sort of different moments in time and how I find it's very important for people to be in the moment and present, to feel somebody's presence, to not shoot it through a little screen so you can watch it on that same screen the next day. Like, be aware of your surroundings, right?
Be aware of yourself. I think social media ruins that. Like, it kills self-awareness, and it kills, like, so you can't even get in tune with your own thoughts. Like, if you're reading Twitter, like, all day, like, you don't even know what your own thoughts are. Like, what are your thoughts? You're just reading other people's anecdotes all day, poisoning your own mind and your own energy, and you don't even need that. So I feel like, I don't know, sorry, I got like emotional and like ranting.
No, that's real. This is my question though. It's like social media.
But it's
like,
true.
Yeah, it's.
Like, I love Tumblr because I get to talk to people like one-on-one, and that's a different energy. Like, it's like, okay, I'm telling you, I'm literally probably sitting in my bed or like, riding in the car somewhere, and I read something and I was like, ooh, like, I want to answer that. And then I kind of just said exactly what was on my heart. But you can't put your heart into 140 like, that's ridiculous. Sure. It's impossible. Like, you can't do that. And I think it's almost like a mission in futility, like stifling yourself and stifling others by forcing them to force their words into really small, like minuscule moments of themselves. You're just making yourself and other people smaller. Yeah. And I refuse to do that shit.
You shouldn't,
but I don't
man.
know.
Never play small, man.
Yeah.
Go as hard as you can in the paint. I agree with that. And thank you for answering my question before I even asked it. That's how dope she is. You know, sort of along the same lines, you know, I want to talk about talent versus popularity, right? You know, beautiful women, you know, that are out there that have a little Twitter page. They have 300,000 followers. We know exactly why, because people are impressed by that, right? I find substance is so much more sexy, right? Speak to me about talent versus popularity.
You know, there's actually like a talent in being popular, though. Like
Yeah,
low key, I've
maintenance.
never known that talent because I don't know, being popular. That shit just wasn't in the cards for me. Like as a kid, I think I don't know. It was too rough. But talent versus popularity, I think honestly, you can chase popularity, but that doesn't really have anything to do with you growing. It just has to do with other people, and it kind of defeats like what's your purpose for that. But if you're just gonna do something to showcase your talent and people gravitate towards that, it's organic for sure. I can't knock anyone that's like crazy popular because that's awesome. Like you get to spread whatever you want to spread because you have a platform to do it. But I think it's just important that people use their platforms wisely. Like don't just abuse your platform. Like don't just get a platform so you can now like just embarrass others or like disgrace yourself or just put negative poison into the world. Like that's nasty.
Do you read
Don't
those
do that.
comments?
I did. I recently deleted Twitter off my phone. I deleted Instagram off my phone. I still have the apps. Like I'm gonna post eventually, but I had to rid myself of like, I don't know, of the clutter. Like I'm already cluttered myself. Like half the time I'm talking to myself. So it's just like, I can't talk to myself and like deal with like 500 other people talking to me at the same time. Cause then I forget who I am and it's weird. But I don't know. Popularity versus talent. They kind of come hand in hand. Like if you're talented, most people that are talented breed popularity. Not even popularity, but if you touch people, that's different. Like I consider that popularity. Sure. Like there aren't 6,000 of you here right now, but like my mom is teary-eyed in the front, and I'm teary-eyed, and that's something. Like that means something to me and to everybody else. And it's not about popularity. It's about moments, like actual moments in time. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you were talking about this, and I know it's harder and harder now that you're on the road, you're worldwide. There's demands constantly of, you got to show up here, you got to do this photo shoot, you got to do that. Tell me about like what grounds you, and I guess I speak about home. You and I spoke last night at 3:19 in the morning, right?
I was playing Phase 10.
Yeah.
With my mom. It was very intense.
Yeah,
I had the most intense
incredible.
game of Phase 10 last night. Like it was bad. It ruins families. But anyway, I think grounded hobbies. I think I've learned I was never grounded in life. I was kind of just sort of floating, trying to figure it out and using other things as like placebos to make myself happy, like money or jewelry or anything, the way I looked, my weight, whatever. But I think now, I don't know, I think doing shit I genuinely love to do, like cooking, I love to cook. So I'll just go like spam at the house like all the time, like just cook anything and everything. Like last night I did like teriyaki salmon with like a
you burn in the kitchen.
Potatoes.
You burn like
it
that.
goes down in my
See,
kitchen.
yet another talent that we're learning about.
I'm obsessed with cooking, but it's cathartic for me. Like,
Yeah.
or I'll do rock climbing once a week, or go to gymnastics class, or go to dance class, whatever.
Yeah, you were a major gymnast.
I was a gymnast for a very long time.
I'm excited to see that go down. I have a video. I'm
One
gonna direct
day.
with you. We're gonna do that, man. Stay tuned, everyone.
One day. I don't know.
It's amazing how quickly 20 minutes goes by. I have like one sort of final strange question, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
Well, it's two-part. No, it's good. Don't worry. What is your greatest achievement to date? Briefly, because we want to get to questions. Everybody has them, I'm sure. What are you most proud of that you've achieved thus far?
I know this sounds like weird and like maybe weak, but it's this. Everything has been bigger every time. This is the first time I've been in New York since, I don't know when the last time I was here, but like publicly, like doing anything or singing in New York, this is the first time. And the last time, there was not this many people here, and it was just, so this is my greatest achievement to date.
I love it. I have
For
rapid
sure.
fire. I have rapid fire two more. Who do you want to work with?
Ooh.
Because that's a burning question for people.
So many people.
Name two.
King Cruel for sure.
Dope.
And I had a really cool conversation with Janae 2 days ago, so that was cool. Yeah, that she's a really, really awesome person, so that'll be pretty tight.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have to open up the floor to questions. You know, I want to ask
Cool,
about
cool.
20 more, like what inspires you?
talk to y'all,
We're gonna
though.
talk about that. We're gonna do this again.
How, I know you talked about like your parents not always like, supporting, wanting to like sing and stuff, but like how is that feeling of when they first like saw you perform and really just like, saw you living out like all your dreams basically? Like how did that feeling, like did you cry? Like did they cry? Like how did that feel?
I don't know. I feel like maybe you should ask my mom. She's right here. But yeah, mommy, tell her how you felt.
I'll make it brief. It was incredible. It was almost like seeing her for the first time, because I had seen her and my husband, we had seen her in a different light, and to see her be who she wanted to be, it was like, okay, I get it now. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Thank you, mommy. I love you guys.
I wasn't surprised. I always
Hi,
knew,
Dad.
I always knew she had it in her. Always did. She had it in her from day one. She always had talent. She always had class. She always had skills. She was always her own person, and I respected that. We would clash, but I respected the power of her individual self, and I support that.
You. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. Did that answer your question? Was that okay? I don't know. Okay,
You have another
cool,
question?
Hi.
My question is, especially as a black woman in an over-sexualized industry, how do you maintain your individuality
I'm kidding.
without
I'm kidding.
succumbing to social media and what they define as beautiful?
I think at first I was afraid to be in music because I was afraid of the aesthetic that I would have to portray. And I was like, okay, I don't want to sign up for that. I'm not going to shave my legs and I'm not going to lotion. So I don't know if this will work or not. But I don't ever feel pressured to be hypersexualized. Like, I'm not ignorant to the fact that I'm a tad on the shapely side. Like, I know I'm not stick thin. I don't have bone straight hair. Sometimes I do whatever I want to do. And I think that as long as that works for you, then it works for me. But I think the most important part, I don't know, just pressure is what you make it. I've learned that the hard way. And I think at first I let it cripple me and I was afraid, but at some point you have to stop giving a fuck. Like your life depends on you not giving a fuck. So, but yeah, that's that.
All right, first and foremost, I love your voice.
Thank you.
All right, and my main question is, how does it feel to be signed with the best group in hip hop right now?
Yes. Thank you, number one. Honestly, they're just the craziest. It's crazy. But, on an honest level, seeing them every day and, recording with them or, seeing them at the house and just, being human beings, but watching them create from being regular people, it's nuts. Because I think what everybody doesn't get to see is the process. They don't get to see people just walking around, and they're regular, just coming by or just chopping it up at the studio, eating chicken or whatever, or ordering sushi. But I think, I don't know, it's very surreal. I usually don't realize it until we're at a show where everybody's out, and then it's just oh yeah, I forgot. This is a whole thing. This is more than just a family thing, but it feels like family. I don't know, the president of TDE is here, Punch is here, and he, I don't know, he's casual Jack. He's just whatever. We're just out. So I don't know that it's important, but it's not what overwhelms my mind because it's more family than anything. But yeah.
All right, I have the mic. First of all, I absolutely love you.
Tell him.
And
Thank you. I love you too.
honestly, I'm standing here and I'm like, you're my spirit animal.
Thank you. You know what's crazy? When people say that, I'm always like, but I'm a human being, though. but I don't know. I think that's awesome.
Like, there's a connection there where it's just like, I hear your music and I'm like, yo, this girl is in my head. What the fuck? But honestly, as one graphic designer to an actual music artist, I just want to know personally, who does the art for your
He's
covers?
here. Kareem Blair. He does he does all of it. he also owns a company called Lamar and Dolly, and yeah, he's an amazing designer. He designs for all different kind of. They just dropped a sneaker, by the way, that sold out with Fila. It was awesome. But anyway, yeah, it's him, and yeah, we just collaborate. He knows me well, so he can just kind of call it. Yeah, so like, like the original cover for Z was it was an orangutan hanging off of like a blinged out Z, like above like fruit. It was weird, or putting avocados on S. Like, I was obsessed with avocado like for a whole year. It's all I refuse to eat anything but guacamole. So, but he knows that, so it's kind of just like putting all of my mind, and then I love Kenzo, so we kind of put some of that in there. Like, whatever, we just kind of work together. But yeah.
I just want to say hi, and I'm gonna pass it.
Hi. Okay.
Yay!
Oh, that's so nice.
This is my favorite new friend I just made in the crowd. Anyway, I just want to ask you, I know you had like trouble with your dad convincing him that you were serious about your music career, so I just wanted to know how he's getting along with you being like successful now.
I think, I don't know. I never had trouble like with my dad. It's more just like with my whole family. Just like they're very accomplished people. They're very accomplished, and my sister has a master's. She just got her second master's. Like, it's a very tough act to follow. So I think I just try to make my parents proud and doing things that are like visible to them and palpable to them. Still, like in the back of my head, like I want to do things that I know that in their heart of hearts they can feel proud about. But yeah, I don't know.
Can we give an amazing round of applause to SZA?
Can I say something for 2 seconds? Like, I'll make it super
Absolutely.
quick. I just want to say, like, I don't really know how to put into words, like, how I feel. This is really dope. Y'all don't really know where I come from and what I come from, like in terms of life, or just going through shit and being judged and just everything. Like, it's a lot, and it's so amazing to feel like positive energy and like good vibes in this room, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much.